Yeah.
And in a moment, like, you barely have time to sort of register that you're moving forward. You just feel this absolute blast of wind sort of in front of and behind you simultaneously. Kind of like you are caught up in the center of a, I'll say a tornado.
Makes sense.
But like not too long after, you find yourselves back at the quarry. Hang on, allow me to get tokens placed.
You were
Take
planning
your
this
time.
for this. I had no idea we were going to have this happen at all. And you were like, how long have you had this set up, Delayed?
Yes.
Probably since the time before we ran.
I mean,
And or just after.
yeah.
Riven and Green. There is no token for the old man, because he is a non-combatant. I mean, technically he's got abilities, but he is a non-combatant.
His
And,
main job is trying to make sure the storm doesn't see us as enemies.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Keep all
Oh
hard
my
down
god,
here.
the visual effect. Nicely done.
And you are dropped relatively close to, well, you're definitely up on the upper level of the, area, and the old man seems to be shouting at, well, the
That's a
storm.
quarrel.
Definitely looks serpentine.
Quite coddly.
Here, allow me to grab you just the image from the.
That would be appreciated.
oh, oh. That definitely looks like, considering that it's an elder elemental, this is definitely something I do not want to fuck with. I'm glad we've got an interpreter, okay, that has direct ties to this creature, because that doesn't look like it's something that I want to fuck with, especially when our main transportation is skyship. Because that
Dragon, currently.
yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but you imagine pissing this thing off and having it follow us after we leave this freaking island? No, fam, I'd rather not.
If you piss it off, there's only one
Ow.
option. You're not letting it. You gotta beat it down.
Yeah.
If you piss it off.
you-
Otherwise, you're
if
not
you-
leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Either if you piss it off, you're not leaving until you appease it, or
Or it's dead. One or the
Right.
other. In a game, those are the only two options.
I would say after a moment of the old man sort of shouting towards it, you all do feel like the wind kind of stops battering you, and like the sand is no longer reaching you.
protective bubble, protective bubble.
The old man walks over to you and he says, "I have, the storm is willing to give you just a few minutes."
Alrighty then. So, do we want to lead with the talking to the elemental, or the just sending it back to whence it came? I'll look over at Pepper.
Well, if they're giving us a few minutes, and right now they're at a bit of a standstill, I think right now is probably the best time to try talking.
Hi, Vile. How are you doing?
Hoi!
The old man does go ahead and say, whether you come to an agreement with the thing or not, the storm does not want it here in its territory.
Yep.
Bowl.
But if we could somehow get it to agree to accept the banishment, it gets sent back to where it would rather be easier than us forcefully giving it the boot. So, either way, the goal is the same. We're going to go ahead and get this out of the storm's territory. Not like we can genie in the bottle and seal it back up into an object. As cool as that would be, I don't think that's
really
the only way that's happening if it's willing.
We can't
Why?
evil containment jar this shit.
I mean, just kind
Oh,
of
that'd
looks
be
just
rude.
like, probably not without, a powerful mage. Some merit.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Where can I find a man living on an island with a turtle?
I don't think Roshi's gonna help.
Evil banish, evil banish jar.
Well, I
Yeah, the
mean,
jar that was only
he would be
useful
easy
for,
to
like, the
summon,
first
though. All we
series.
have to apparently do is say anime titties.
Oh God.
You've seen the shorts or
Yes.
the TikToks, haven't
I
you?
have been summoned.
Yes.
All right, so Pepper leads the way as our elemental diplomat, and Levy and the guide will work as banishment if things look like they're going south.
My night's going great. Going great there, Vile. Currently in the middle of trying to
Possibly
solve
negotiate with
trouble.
an elemental.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okie dokie. Heck yeah.
Cock shotgun. We don't negotiate with terrorists.
Unless they are
Anyways.
very cool. Then maybe.
Anyways, let's go.
Okie dokie.
Let's go.
So Pepper will walk up a bit, and yeah, her way of getting there will probably be through summoning Skullville so that she can start riding them. So she didn't want to do it right next to everyone, not to hurt them. So Wee.
I was gonna say, do you think bringing another elemental of fire into this might piss it off?
Potentially.
Would it?
It's a very minor one. I'll say that the storm is fine with it. It's a minor one, and it is being summoned bound to you, unlike the elemental currently in the center, which is unbound, more or less.
Yeah.
Started playing D&D as well with some friends. Still really new to it. Having fun with it. Glad that you're having fun with it. That's all that's important. I hope you're enjoying your time.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
Reen
Well.
is just gonna do Reen things, aka sprint at it. What?
Zalera, Zalera latches onto your back just like a glide.
Glide, a hang glider.
There's a little.
Well, I mean, okay, so
Levy and Riven just like look at each other, just like,
yeah. How far down was the little drops again?
they were 60 feet.
But they weren't sheer, right? They were a little sloped.
They are a little sloped, yes. You can, as long as if you pass an athletics or an acrobatics check, you can slide down without taking damage.
I'm gonna look at Levy. I'm gonna go ahead and say, I might be able to handle this better than you. I hope you don't mind. And I pick her up.
We're just like, oh, okay, we're doing this again.
Yeah.
I see.
So I'm gonna princess carry her to the edge, and I'm literally gonna use my goat-like legs to kind of. I'm going to take the slope at an angle down, kind of like how a goat would walk down a sheer cliff, to try to make it easier on myself. Not a straight drop, but basically using the slant to my advantage. Does that make sense, Delayed?
Yep.
So, given that I am going about this smarter rather than harder, would you give me, say, the check at advantage?
Yeah, I'll give it to you. And also because you've attempted this before.
Yes! Yes, I have. Womp. Are you kidding me?
No, this
A
slope is
1 and a
cursed.
2! A 1 and a 2!
This slope is cursed.
Second verse, same as the first.
I loaded
Now
this
put him on a plate
up.
so I can put him in a
I
hearse.
loaded this up to be successful. I had a 5 modifier. I rolled a 1 and a 2. Delayed, please.
Mhm.
It's something I pulled off of Google.
Please be gentle,
Vile.
Delayed.
You don't know what you're looking at. So right now we're in a valley, or like where a quarry was, with two elementals that are eyeing each other
Vying for
down very
territory.
angrily.
Yeah.
And we gotta try to talk the fire one into trying to send it home.
All right. So let's see here.
I can zoom into at least the characters. The fire elementals. Are the
Is
way
it okay? Now I'm going to say this. This is not how this skill normally works, but Delayed.
Does the monk not have slow fall?
Not yet.
He doesn't have it because
Oh.
his monk level is not high enough.
I see.
Because 3 levels into
Oof.
Bard. Like I have 3
Delayed,
levels into
if
sorcerer.
you will allow, if I am missing the DC by just a little bit, will you allow me to kind of tweak a version of focus aim to pump the skill check a little bit? Can I dump key points to bring the skill check up?
Actually, hang on. I'm gonna call us back to a thing that I think we have all forgotten about for the longest time now.
What's that?
Everybody gets inspiration at the start of each session.
Oh, fuck yes, I'm burning my inspiration. I forgot about that.
Technically the group inspiration thing, but we have long since forgotten about that, so I'm just gonna do that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so that basically gets me a reroll.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know.
I'm gonna mute for a quick minute to explain things to Vile.
Okay.
I'm gonna mute and deafen. Keep me appraised via the chat.
It still gave me a 2 on the second die.
Hey, you still got 15 though. That's nice.
Yeah, no. If it on the inspiration reroll gave me a 6 and a 7 again, though.
I at that point, fate wants you to fall on your face in the sand. I don't
Yeah.
On the bright side, it's sand. Well,
I'm carrying
the
someone
sand.
else, though.
I mean, yeah, they're being carried. They're taking a lot less than you are, I feel, at the end of the day, because you're the one carrying the weight's landing on you.
Yeah, so.
Now, since he's a monk, he does manage to carry her the entire way down.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
So what does the
D6 for
inspiration reroll look like, though? Because basically I'm replacing a 7 with a 15. So I imagine that, like, literally as I'm climbing down, a bit of the wall breaks free. And then I just all of a sudden find my footing again and make it down the rest of the way. So there's a brief moment where it looks like
very brief moment where the wind catches you just enough for you to re-get your footing.
So if Levy was paying attention and saw how close that was when we make it down that first slope, how well does she look when we land safely?
Not even close, baby.
Definitely a little bit shaken up.
See, no problem.
Also, your ankles.
No worries, Vile.
My ankles. I take a whole 1 point of damage.
Yep.
Okay. Fine.
Using me and Pepper, since we're gliding, since I have Zalera, are we like further forward?
I'm saying you guys can technically position yourself where you would like to go.
Because I could just technically fly there slowly at 30 feet around, technically, so I could slowly just go.
You do just have to stay close to the ground and walls, or else you start getting massively battered by,
Now,
you know.
Yeah.
considering this entire area was glassed, I'm assuming the
Yes.
ladders that are on the map don't exist anymore.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, Vile, this group is awesome. Pepper may have joined late, but she's invaluable to us.
Yeah.
Apparently, unbeknownst to me, I picked the one language that everyone needed for the ruins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only
It
one.
was completely just like wound up being that because I had this everything prepared beforehand, and I had Primordial set as the language, and then you picked it. I'm just like, oh, huh.
Well, this is
Well,
going to be fun.
Because, I picked it because technically, yes, a wildfire druid. How they got their powers, communing with spirits and elementals. What's the language of elementals? Okay, primordial. Okay.
So it wasn't random happenstance. It made sense for the character. That just happened to also make sense for where we were in the campaign, where we were dealing with a lot of elementals. So
Yeah, and she was more from a more offside tribe of kobolds who, yes, would commune with spirits. So that would be a good community language for them, is what I thought.
I'm assuming
Anyways, now that you're a bit
Vile.
closer,
Funny thing is, Vile, we
Oh.
don't technically have a healer.
nope, in your current circumstances, there is nobody who can. Well, Zalera. Zalera is the only one capable of using healing.
yeah,
Yes.
but her healing is
Reliable
pain.
healing.
It's painful.
Or not reliable healing. Technically, Pepper is capable of some healing.
So
I'm capable of over time healing quite
Yes.
a lot, but I'm not instantaneous healing.
Yeah.
sadly.
So the question is, now that we're up close and personal with the big fire boy, yeah, it looks more like a demon than a cat. So the squirt bottle might not be the right course of action. How close do you need to
this
get
thing
for
looks like
Ben?
fucking. This demonic entity looks like fucking Ifrit.
Yeah. So how close do you need to go ahead and get for banishment?
60 feet, at least.
And
Remember, these are 50 feet.
These are 60 feet tall.
yeah, so we have to at least go down one
We
more.
have to get here at least.
Okay.
Minimum.
You have to be down on the same layer.
Hey!
This thing is
Well, there
gonna
goes
say-
one of the crits.
I was gonna say this thing is a like 15-foot towering inferno, more or less.
This time I help myself and Levy down with grace.
And to put myself in terms of combat, just in case it becomes that, here should be fine, right?
I'm going to.
Oh, I was gonna say,
Yes.
let me tell you, if things devolve into combat, you have the backup.
Yeah, we have literally.
Unfortunately, the backup doesn't care if you get caught up in its
AoEs.
Correct.
I don't care how big the room is. I cast Fireball.
All right, so Levy's close enough to use the scroll if she needs to.
Yep.
I am literally just gonna hang out about there because
I was gonna say with the wind's blessing, more or less, you are able to see through the storm. It is only light obscurity for you all. However, it is technically heavily obscuring vision for him.
okay, so question would be this. I am wearing the goggles mostly for eye protection, but at
This thing is like more or less a fucking beacon in your eyes.
yeah, so I'm not even with the light obscurity.
I
I'm
mean,
not.
hell, if you turn around, even though there's a giant fuck off or two giant fuck off cliffs in the way, you can still see the storm as well.
Yeah, so
I am
the Yeah.
storm that is
approaching.
I
guess we go ahead and let Pepper go ahead and see if she can talk it down.
All
Let
right,
us
Pepper.
know if there's
Me.
anything we can do to help. I'm going to go ahead and do something that I'm rarely do. And I'm just gonna go ahead before she goes to talk to it. I'm just gonna go ahead and
Bardic inspiration.
yeah, tap Pepper on the shoulder. Said, "You got this."
Pepper, you have both bardic inspiration and regular inspiration.
Wee.
So
Yeah.
usually I use my bardic inspiration to stab a fool.
So she'd approach down to here and probably land on getting off Scoville.
The elemental, more or less, as you sort of get close enough that it can spot the two of you,
Yeah.
it looks at Scoville specifically, and it begins speaking in Ignan. Primordial does allow you to understand Ignan.
Oh.
Yep. Primordial. It's gonna like Sylvan and Elven. One's like the mother language of the other. So if you speak the mother language, you can kind of understand the language that is based on it.
The derivative of a language that is
Yeah.
based off of the mother language.
But yeah, in this case, Primordial technically encompasses all of the elemental languages.
Mm-hmm.
But the elemental, it looks at Scoville. It doesn't seem to even acknowledge you there, Pepper. And it asks something that more or less fits along the lines of where, when and where is this?
So this motherfucker's just lost.
I mean, I'd be lost too if I was just randomly summoned into the world.
Hey, at least it was summoned into a desert, which wasn't
I was
like
gonna say, also worth noting for everybody who was observing it, all of the sand that hits it basically glasses and then melts. There is a pile of like molten glass at its feet.
which is why the
Aw.
sand elemental is very displeased with it because it can't blow it away. It just makes more glass.
This is great for glass blowing businesses, though.
Yeah. Maybe we can go ahead and get it to work with the pirates.
Oh my lord!
Could you imagine
The
that?
sand elemental would be very displeased with that.
Sand element's just one foot out of its fucking desert,
Yeah.
which technically considers the entire island, which is a desert, its territory.
Get off my lawn.
Your lawn is a continent. I don't care. I said what I said.
And I will not change it.
Who the heck are you guys? Who the heck are you guys?
Anyways, Pepper.
Get off my lawn!
Putting this here
Correct.
for my own sakes, just so I can say it as needed. Basically, putting it out there for my own needs there. But yeah, because Scoville can't speak, so yeah, so she just like hold up her hands, wave them around a little bit before to try to draw his eye to her before giving a prayer like bow as best she can from her tribe, and then shouting out in primordial. Hail, great fire spirit! I am Pepper, and I have come to meet and greet such a great spirit as yourself. Your flames are really majestic. What may I call you? And I don't know the time because I was taken out of my time as well from a time wizard.
It's currently 7:30.
Kind of takes a moment to think. Before it says, I have not been given a name.
Whew. Truly a shame for one as majestic looking as you. Were you trapped in the staff that was broken here?
No, but there was something I was trapped in.
Well, We did
it-
manage
I was gonna say, if
to.
you all will remember, whenever her being there, there was the floating sun, more or less, and that's her death is what triggered that to begin falling.
Yeah. Well,
The Eternal Sun Prison.
me and my group of friends here managed to slay the person who kept you bound. Well, whose death freed you. So you are free, but I assume you want to go back to the back to the plane of fire, or wherever it is you come from.
It says to you just like, I'm not entirely sure. I don't
Oh.
remember what I was called here for.
Oh,
He just needs a friend.
well,
That's what he needs. He needs a friend and a home.
He needs some TLC.
I do think I need to return, but
if you're lost right now, my friends and I, well, we're quirky and we're odd, but we take in friends of all kinds. Perhaps we can be your friends as well and try to help you figure things out. And if you do need to get back, we can banish you with your choosing. Though we are in the territory of another spirit who is not very happy.
Not in the room for roommates.
I would assume this to be the one conjuring the storm.
Yes, there's a great, well, wind elemental over there who's a bit, well, not happy because this is their territory, these deserts.
I would apologize, but quite frankly, I feel like I was called here against my will.
Is there a way we can take you out of here then?
Yeah, I mean,
We can easily talk to it about we're helping you leave this area.
it's unlikely that it'll be easy for you all to transport me.
Ah,
Pepper, what is it saying?
Oh, my friends don't understand primordial. Um, it. I'm sorry. Give me a moment to at least clue them in on what's going on, so that we can try to come up with a way to help you.
That's quite
Yeah.
Green is just saying
Yeah.
that for
Yeah.
context.
Yeah, but just she'll call out in common to them to let them know that it doesn't seem to have any memory or idea why it was summoned here, and it does not know what time it's in or whatnot.
Oh, that Green will
And it,
tell Pepper the time, the date, generally where it is.
Our material plane.
well, thankfully that part's easy.
It's from a material plane. It's just after lunch, and you're in the Great Desert Island, near the town of Oasis.
So yeah, she in Primordial she will relay the specifics of the dates of where they are, and yes, that they are on the Prime material.
Mhm.
If there is any way that I can help you move, I'm willing to offer any way to help. But other than polymorph, I don't have very many strong magics among myself.
We end up polymorphing him into a humanoid that can leave the desert under his own volition.
Well, sadly, polymorph only works on the person who casts it, I believe.
No, you can target another
Oh,
creature.
can you? Once
Yeah, I was gonna say polymorph and true polymorph are targeted spells.
Oh yeah, 60 feet, a creature that you can see within range. Yeah, wow.
So we could.
But it only lasts for concentration up to an hour is the only issue.
Yeah, you turn him into a chicken for an hour.
And sure, okay, so somehow in that hour we got him back to the ship. The problem is once he does change back, the whole ship's on fire, which would be bad.
Well, that gives an hour to figure out a way to I mean, if he doesn't readily want to go back, but he does want to get out of this other elemental's hair, having him become a person for an hour will at least ease the wind elemental, and then we could try to figure out
We're trying, Vile.
a
We're trying
way.
to help the poor guy out.
I
Perhaps
mean,
there's a druidic ritual I can do in order to help. Maybe we can have you travel along somehow temporarily.
uh, uh, or we could, you know,
We do have the banishment spell.
we do
Or-
have. Okay,
Girls.
if we're clued in, I'm going to point out I have a key that opens to an extra dimensional space that has a room that is nothing but fire that he could exist in. Yes. We have a place that he could stay. We would just have to go ahead and bring him there before the hour wears off. Plenty of time. And clue Lops in and get their take on it. So we have a way to transport him. We do. It's just turning him into something that isn't on fire for an hour, getting him to a door, opening that door, and getting him in the Lops' shop. So
We
we
could
have
also do a friendly banishment, which is where he decides to let us return him home, which I'm pretty sure that's basically just opening a door for him to leave.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
which
I mean,
sadly he doesn't want to do right now because he doesn't know. Because it was I did mention that out of game, just saying. She did mention the banishment.
Summoned for some reason.
Yeah,
yeah.
and he doesn't know what he's doing, and he will want to go back eventually, but he wants to recollect what he's here for.
We can
first.
give him a safe place to stay until he makes his decision.
Wasn't he here to kill us?
We don't know that, and
No.
to be fair, he doesn't know that. So
I'm not going to tell him that that's his purpose. Are you?
Because maybe that isn't his purpose. Maybe he was trapped because he was doing something, fighting them or something, or trapped against his will. We don't know.
What if he was protecting something?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.